If you have never used CAD before and you are staring down the barrel of AutoCAD, not knowing where to start, don't worry, start here. There are over 400 commands available in AutoCAD, but we're just going to cover the very key ones. Now, it helps if you've already seen the previous video on the interface elements, but don't worry too much if you haven't. You can just follow along. The first command we're going to cover is line. To launch the line command, just go to the top ribbon and click the word line. Then keep an eye on the command line. It will tell you what to do. Here, I'm just going to click and draw some lines. If I want to exit the command, I just hit escape. If I press enter, I can relaunch the same command again. I can manually type in values and then press the Tab key to cycle between the boxes, pressing enter when I've finished putting in the value. And I can repeat this for as long as I want. Or I can just start clicking again. Press escape to finish. The next command we're going to look at is the Polyline command. It works almost exactly the same as the line command. I can click, or I can manually enter values and press Tab. Again, I need to press exit to end the command. Now, on the surface, these two lines look identical, but they're not. A polyline is created as a continuous object, whereas lines are individual objects that touch. This is a critical difference, and it's something to be aware of. You can see this by navigating to the Properties palette, where the information will be displayed. And the next command we're going to look at is rectangle. I'm going to click somewhere in model space, which is this drawing area, and I'm going to enter a value, pressing Tab to cycle between the boxes, and enter to finish the command. I can again press enter to repeat the previous command. And this time, I'm going to manually put in some values, which means I'm going to start at the 0, 0 position. If I then press the hash key, that means I can input the coordinate points that I want instead of an absolute or relative value. The next thing you're probably going to want to do is zoom and pan around the object. So you can do this with the middle mouse button. Simply scroll up and down and you will zoom in and out. Or hold the middle mouse button to drag and pan the drawing around. Double-click the navigation cube in the top right, or double-click the middle mouse button to zoom to the extents of the drawing. If an object is selected, double-click and it will zoom to the extents of that object. If I continuously click in AutoCAD, I will select endlessly. I have to hold Shift to deselect objects. This is probably the opposite of what you're used to, and it can be confusing. You can also press Escape to deselect everything. Additionally, we have these sort of window selection areas. If I click, release the mouse button, move my cursor and click again, I draw a selection window. If I move from left to right, I get a blue box. If I move from right to left, I get a green box. See if you can tell what the difference is. Obviously, with the green box, it's everything that is inside the window at all. With the blue box, it's things that are only completely inside the selection area. Now, you may have noticed that if you hold the mouse button down and begin dragging, you actually draw a lasso. This works in the same way as the selection windows, it just allows you to draw a more freeform shape, and it's good to know. Finally, circle. Circle is relatively intuitive. You simply click or enter a value or click. You'll notice that we get these little green dots when we're drawing. That's called a snap point, and it's really important to be aware of what they're doing. You may find that your geometry kind of jumps around and doesn't quite go where you expect. Pay attention to these little green dots, that's what's happening, and we will be covering this in a later video. The next thing you're probably going to want to do is move objects around. Now, you can just click on the grip points, but it's better to use the move command as it's more precise. With the move command, you can manually add a base point, which is the point from where it moves. So I can move from the end of a line, from the center of a circle, from the 0, 0 position, and then I can move in a precise and fixed direction and angle. The next thing you maybe want to do is rotate the objects around. If we select them, press enter, we can then put in a base point. Think of it like the center of a circle, the rotation point. If you put it in the middle, everything will rotate around the edges. If you put it over here, everything will rotate around that point. Again, you can manually input a value if you need to. As the name would suggest, the mirror command mirrors things. You draw a mirror or a symmetry line after selecting the objects, and then you can mirror them. The thing to be aware of with the mirror command is it looks like it's finished, but it hasn't. It keeps going. And it will ask you if you want to delete the entities. The answer is normally no. So just be aware that the command has not finished yet. Now, if we click scale, we'll be asked for a base point, rather like the other commands. We can then move the cursor and rescale, or we can manually enter a value. So if you scale from here, the object will move, and if you scale from the corner, the object will move from the corner. This may take a bit of practice. Remember, the commands can be selected first and then the objects, or you can swap it around and you can select the objects and then the command. If you've got a lot of objects in the drawing, you might want to start trimming. It's pretty easy to do this. You can just launch the trim command and start clicking, or you can draw with a crossing line. If you hold Shift, it will convert to the extend command, so you can lengthen the lines to the nearest object instead of trimming. The trim and extend commands are nice because they're complementary. If you try and trim or extend when there's nothing to trim to and nothing to extend to, the command will fail. So just be aware of this. If you like what I do, please like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications, it really helps me out. It also lets you know when the next lessons are becoming available. Additional resources are available, including PDFs, DWG files, reference documentation, and exclusive videos. Please see the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.